Well, I think we're back for this is episode 5 of the what were we calling it? The self-isolated Basement Blaincast. Brian Blain here. Thanks to all the folks that have been following along. This is 5 weeks of doing this. I didn't realize the time flew by quite that fast. Ooh wee. And oops, I guess I can turn off some of these effects. You're not really seeing the guitar, are you? Like, let's get a little bit of no. Oh, but now I'm too far back. Well, whether you hear it or not, or whether you see it or not, I am playing the guitar. Have we got the top of my head there, Joel?
No, face is out of the frame.
We're going to have to push it up a bit there.
Okay, a little bit high. That's good. That's good.
All right. I'm not right on top of the mic either, but we hear fine. And thanks for coming along. This is a very special Blaincast. I got Joel on board and my buddy.
Hey, Brian.
Everybody's going to be jamming on the tune that I wrote for this occasion. It says my internet connection is unstable. I can't believe it. I have a very fast upload here. But this song was kind of a commission of sorts. I sometimes for gifts, in lieu of a real gift, I would give people a little card and say, "Listen, I will write a song for you. Just tell me what you want the song about, and it'll be my gift to you." And so one birthday gift to a great friend who's been terrific and remembers birthdays and other occasions and has been a supporter of the Blain music world. So his birthday gift, he wanted a song about the therapeutic values of medical marijuana, and that's when it was just kind of starting out. It wasn't as ubiquitous as it is now, with a store on every corner and considered an essential service. But he was using it. He had shoulder problems and a lot of physical problems, and it had been a great help to him. So I wrote a tune called "Have a Toke." And it's going to be on the forthcoming album being released May 10th, Mother's Day. And it'll be on CD Baby and iTunes and everywhere else. It might not be in your hot little hands. I think it's going to take a little longer to actually manufacture CDs and get them out there for folks. But we'll get it out virtually. And this tune includes a little mashup at the end with some new sounds, entirely new sounds, something we tried on the last album with The Ghost of Clinton's Tavern. We had a lot of fun with that. Joel was doing it with me, and now Patrick came on board and he added many new layers. And so I've been having fun with that. But first, let's just, I was going to start with a little bit of more typical Brian Blain fare, even though this isn't. This is probably, how old do you think this song might be? I never think the guitar is loud enough, but last time when I boosted it, it was distorting. So I'm going to leave it like this. Now, who wrote this song? I don't know. Who popularized this song? Tex Ritter. You can tell how dated it is when it refers to 48 states. I'm just a fella with a heart of gold, of a gentleman, I've been told, the kind of fella that wouldn't even harm a flea. But if me and a certain character met that guy that invented the cigarette, I'd murder that son of a gun in the first degree. Well, it ain't 'cause that I don't smoke myself. I don't reckon to hinder your health. I smoked them all my life and I ain't dead yet. But the nicotine slaves are all the same at a petting party or a poker game. Everything's got to stop while they have that cigarette. You get the theme for the day? I said, smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, puff, puff it until you smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate that he's just gonna have to wait, 'cause you've got to have another cigarette. At a game of chance the other night, old Dame Fortune, she was doing me right. The kings and the queens, they just kept coming round. Well, I had me a full, but I bet a tie, and the bluff didn't work on a certain guy. He kept raising and laying the money down. Well, he'd raise me and I'd raise him. I was sweating blood, gotta sink or swim. Then he called and didn't raise the bet. I said, ace is full, pal. How about you? And he said, oh, I'll tell you in a minute or two. But right now I got to have me a cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, puff, puff it till you smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate that he's just gonna have to wait, 'cause you've got to have another cigarette. Last verse. The other night I had a date with the prettiest girl in all 48 states, a high-bred, fancy, uptown little dame. Well, she said she loved me, and it seemed to me things were about how they ought to be. And hand in hand we went down Lover's Lane. She was oh so far from a chunk of ice, and our smooching party was going real nice. So help me, Hannah, I believe I'd have been there yet. But I give her a kiss and a little squeeze, and she says, oh, Butch, excuse me, please, but right now I got to have me a cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, puff, puff it till you smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate that he's just gonna have to wait, 'cause you've got to have another cigarette. You've got to get this guitar back in tune.
So your guitar's kind of low, Dad. You gotta. It's too low.
All right, we'll put her up.
No, I mean, no, not video wise. Put it up.
I did. I had to reach for the audio. It's behind the video. On my back. Is that a little better? A little more?
You're good. You're good.
And yeah, tuning. That would have been a good thing to tune before the big broadcast here. I've been watching so many of these fabulous events, and last night was the epitome, where Lady Gaga and Paul McCartney and the Rolling Stones are all there in their living rooms, just like this. You know, some of them had a more elaborate microphone and camera, perhaps. But for the most part, it's like an even playing field. You know, you got Keith Richard there, and he's trying to get heard, and then you got Brian Blain today, the day after.
Just so you know, we can't see your guitar, right? If you moved further back, we could see more of you.
I thought of moving back, but it's a commitment. There's a lot involved in moving back here.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, I'm not going to try to do too much here. I saw some people really struggling, you know, and it's true. The more gadgetry, the more junk you add, the more tricky it's going to be. And so if I try to look on my Facebook page, will I see any comments? I'm on it already. And we're not on my Facebook page. So let's go over to my other page, my musician page. And we're going to go up.
Oh, Dad.
What's that?
I already shared it all for you.
Okay, well, I wasn't seeing it. I see my live now.
You're going live. I'm your producer. Just start playing music.
I'm just looking for comments in case any happen. There's 2 comments. Oh, is that you commenting?
Yeah, I'm managing it.
Whoops, I got to turn the sound off of that.
You're going live. I'm your producer. Just start
You're my producer. I don't know if I want to. Joel's my producer, you say. Sheesh. Well, then I was trying to think of other tunes that would tie in with the theme. Oh, we're going back a bit. Guitar down. Phew. Got Bob Marley right on my shoulder there. And I wanted to think of another tune that maybe could relate to the smoking theme, and or just a more general 420s concept. And here's one that was on an album. It's not about smoking dope. It's not even about any drugs, but people mistook it for being about drugs. The song is called "The Day Coke Saved the Blues," and you guess by now I'm talking about Coca-Cola. And the quick story there is one day the label I was signed to was in financial distress, and we thought it was over. But around the same time, the publishing they had on one of Paul Reddick's tunes covered their nut for a while, and that label kept going making blues records, and it was all thanks to this one song from Paul Reddick and the Sidemen. I'm a criminal. So I wrote a song. If I get adventurous, I might even fire up the looper. At the end of this, the looper is way more than a looper. It's become kind of an intelligent looper. Well, as intelligent as like a 2-year-old musically. Well, my label president is looking sad. There's bills to pay and business is bad. Brian Blain sales have been pretty thin. If they send me a statement, I'd be owing them. There even came a day when they might shut down. Then a miracle happened and things turned around. That was the day. That was the day. That was the day. The day Coke saved the blues. Well, let me tell you the story of Northern Blues. How a guy built a label and refused to lose. Signed a few artists cause he liked their sound. Threw a big party, invited the town. We thought the party was over till a sideman was able to write a catchy tune that would save the label. That was the day. That was the day. That was the day. The day Coke saved the blues. your song gets picked for a TV commercial, take the money, sit back, enjoy the residual. If you're a songwriter, don't think it's wrong if a music supervisor likes your song. You might even get lucky and get out of debt, like the day Coca-Cola wrote that check. That was the day. That was the day. That was the day. The day Coke, and I'm talking about the real Coke, not no Diet Coke, not no Cherry Coke, not no whatever Total Coke. They've got a different name for it now again. It's the day Coke saved the blues. I want one of those little applause machines now. A few people are using them, you know.
Yay.
So then, thinking along the theme again, every show has had a theme. I don't know if anybody noticed this. Well, the first one was songs from the new album, but what were some of the themes? Anyway, the upcoming theme will be me whining about the music business, how horrible it is to be a musician. As one journalist said, it's a blues man writing songs about how bad the blues singing business is. Anyway, I digress. This is a very old tune, I would say, circa 1974. If I had a notebook of songs, this would still be in the first notebook. And I wrote it at the farm that was kind of a communal setting a bit for a while. Different people came and went there, but it was the Fraser and Bolt homestead, Cookshire, Quebec. Alan and Daisy and Willie and Grace and Celia and who else was other people lived in the area. It was quite a little community. And one time I got left alone in that house. I'm sitting on the piano was a framed picture, but Daisy had just bought this at some yard sale with an old lady in the picture. And but she was not related to anybody. Daisy had just put this picture up on the piano. And I don't know if everybody, for some reason, was kind of tripping. I have to admit that I didn't take a lot of acid trips in my life, but this is the only song I ever wrote on an acid trip. Called it Hard Hearted Kate. I just made up this whole story staring at that picture. Of all the bad men in the West, there's a dark-haired girl as bad as the rest. If you're carrying silver, she'll take your purse, and she'll steal your heart if she don't break it first. Now you know that it's too late for hard-hearted Kate. She plays stud poker when she's looking for fun, and she's as fast with a deck as she is with a gun. And if anyone at the table should mention that she might cheat, you could be sure to find him later lying in the street. He's finding out the hard way that it's too late for hard-hearted Kate. it's no wonder that she's gone wild. She always was a spiteful child. I had a favorite toy back when I was a kid. I always thought I'd lost it, but it was Kate that had it hid. But you must know the story isn't quite as it seems. What else can you do when you're living on promises and dreams? And watch your back when your stomach cries in hunger and you're blackmailed by the law. It doesn't take much more than a gun or a knife to be branded a criminal for the rest of your life. But folks down in these parts just say that that's her fate and talk about how they'd like to help, but they know that it's too late. It's too late for hard-hearted Kate. It's too late for hard-hearted Kate. Oh yeah, boy, that song has probably never been played in public. You know, it was never on a set list, I don't think, but I might have played it some occasion here or there. Amazing that I can remember all the words, which I didn't. There was a little gap, but I mean, amazing that I remembered as much as I did. Now, I think I need a little more of me, less of the guitar. And now for the main event. Like I said, this was a special commission. And it was an afterthought really on the recording of the album, but we dropped it in at the end. Happy 420, everybody. I mean, if there's anybody joining, because Joel called this a 420 party, listening to these old folk songs from 1970. What? So I'm going to, first I'm going to play you the tune like it is going to be on the album. Then I'm going to hit the switch and you may or may not hear my remix of it. Well, okay, no, maybe we'll do one of you guys remixes first, and then I'll do mine last, and then I might just stay on and noodle some more if there's still some people. This is where we might find the great divide. But hey, Patrick Merner, can you surface there, or did you go away? There he is. Highlight Patrick, and let's hear what he came up with last night, because it's going to be a great surprise to me. And say hello. How are you, man? I don't hear your audio. There's no audio for Patrick.
Yo, no audio, buddy.
Oh, look at that. He's got a cool background. I want something like that.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I had this crazy voice pedal hooked up.
I can be all low like this.
Oh,
hey, everybody.
Man, that's pretty
Yo.
creepy. Yeah, and visually it's all happening too, eh? You're flipping in and out of the white screen there.
Yeah, we're coming at you live right now from.
Hey, is that
Actually, this is Bali.
I was going to ask. That's Bali, eh? Oh,
Yeah, this is
a little footpath.
I fled the country. Can't find me. No, I'm kidding. Everybody got to stay home for Corona and all that. But yeah, I miss playing music with you, Brian.
Yeah, man, and all our little MIDI experimentations. I hope it comes to some kind of fruition, And I kind of threw that at you last minute. Well, I told you we were going to do this, and then I didn't do it. But now a little time on my hands, like everybody. So I'm glad you took a little time there to throw something together. So first, I'm going to sing the song acoustically. And then as I'm just segueing out of it, we flip over to Patrick and we go into his remix. And if Joel is kind of managing that whole thing, eh? All right. Bring it back to me, Joel. That sounds so egoist, you know. Oh, in Grandpa's days, you couldn't get a drink because of some overzealous Christians. But now we celebrate the end of one more prohibition. Have a toke, have a toke. Whatever is hurting, you'll feel better for certain with a smoke. You can't sleep, you don't eat. Well, you tried the medication, why not have a hit of weed? Have a toke, have a toke. You'll feel right as rain, you might even lessen your pain with a smoke. But no, it's not for everyone. It's like I told my teenage son, if all you want is to get real zonked, you hear me, Joel? Better might as well get drunk. Drunk as a skunk, we tried that too, eh? Or have a toke, have a toke. Whatever is hurting, you'll feel better for certain with a smoke. So things are tough, you had enough. Well, light up and have a little puff. Have a toke, have a toke. Whatever is hurting, you'll feel better for certain with a smoke. Have a toke, have it. Are we singing along out there? Whatever is hurting, you'll feel better for certain with a smoke. Have a toke, have a toke. You'll feel right as rain, might even lessen your pain with a smoke. Have a toke, have a toke. You'll be glad to discover it'll help you recover from a stroke. Have a toke. All right, you can morph it in anytime you want, guys. Looks like we might have a little advertising there too. Yeah, deep. You'll feel right as rain. Might even listen to things with smoke. You can't sleep. You don't eat. this rain, you'll forget about pain. Hear this rain. Brilliant. Love it. All right. So cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to put together on the fly. And you're lucky. I was working on a lot of music at the moment, putting together this new album that's coming out on Spotify. Hopefully in the next couple. It's going to be called That.
Bring him
Gummy
up
Like.
front so that people could see him, Joel.
I did.
Patrick's got some interesting new projects, and
Yeah.
you did an amazing thing, man. Like you and JW Jones, you're super achievers, because he did like 30 days, 30 guitar licks. Every day he came up with a different guitar lick. It was very simple, and people loved it. And I learned a few BB King licks. And you did 30 days of 30 IGs.
Yeah, 30 beats, 30 sort of micro compositions. If you guys want to check them out, you can follow PatMakesMusic on like pretty much all the social whatevers. Yeah, and it's I was doing sort of a daily challenge, trying to make a little like 1 minute piece of music every day, and then record a few different parts of it video wise, so it was really interactive, and then try to share that. So just to sort of keep positive, you know?
Yeah, let's say we didn't even refer to what's going on all around us, but watching all these other folks do their pitches, and everybody just wants to play some music, you know, and be a little uplifting, and it's hard to do. But you know, I'm anxious for us to do some more of this electronica stuff together, and even remotely. Maybe there's a way, because I'm still going to keep my Sunday 2 p.m. Brian Blain cast thing going. And I've got, like I said, I got themes coming up, the music business. I'll do a French one, en français completely. I'll do another one with bluegrass. I got enough 4 or 5 bluegrassy tunes. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that. But on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be the string buster alter ego, and I'll be doing a lot of instrumentals, the pop-up stuff. I'm just going to go and when I'm in the mood, you know, that's the great thing. mainly that's the only thing about this pot smoking that I found therapeutic for me. I didn't have any health issues or muscles that needed calming or anything. But if I didn't have a gig waiting for me, it was very hard to come around and get the guitar out of the case, and weeks would go by. And when I finally picked it up, I realized, holy smoke, my nails are so long. I can't even push down on the frets. And so that was the time when I would have a little puff, and it would get me in the mood. And I could go and play some guitar. And as far as the electronica stuff was going, I had kind of put it aside because I'm on an 8-year-old computer with software that's patched together and all these. Patrick knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I wanted to say, so watch for the String Buster on YouTube if you like the electronica stuff. Hey, Pat, make us can you do a little bit of live sound for us just to show a bit of what you've been up to?
I might be able to. Can you guys hear me there? Let me just plug in my guitar. So, yeah. This should be rigged through.
I guess you don't want to.
Got any juice?
Joel, do you want to play yours first and then we'll go live?
We can't really jam together, but I can do a little stuff on the guitar wing for a second. But Joel, do you have your thing ready?
Yeah.
Oh, drop it. Drop the tune.
Okay, now Joel is going to play his track, remixing from the same stems that Pat had, and after this you'll hear my late version. Well, here goes. It's going to be crazy. Late night mixes, eh?
As you can tell, it's not
broke. That was a skipping record, eh? I was starting to play along with it.
Cool. You guys can't jam at the same time because of Zoom, right? It locks the other person's audio.
Down a funky lick for a second, Brian. If you wanna...
Go for it. Yeah. What happens if I try to play, though? How did the Rolling Stones do it last night? That's what I want to know.
I think I don't know, Joel.
They were on Zoom.
Let's just try to play the blues together.
I can't hear you, Pat. Your vocals.
Yeah, your mic is off.
How about now?
Barely, a little bit.
Yeah. What if we just try to play the blues together and see what happens?
All right. It'll be an interesting experiment. Just a short bit, and then I'm going to play my remix.
All right, let's do all right.
You have a key of preference?
Let's do some in E.
It's got that E and G and A. No, it's too rhythmic. You know, we should just try for something that's a little more.
All right, you're getting an E blues. I know you got it in my head now.
I'm burying you with my loop, I think.
Some funky sounds. But yeah, thanks guys. Yo, this was really fun. I gotta run out now just to get down to some stuff I had to get to today.
Well, you don't have to stay and listen to my remix because you heard it already, I guess,
Oh yeah,
last
no,
night.
I'm well familiar with it. But it was great to see you guys. Great to a big hello to everybody at home. And
Let's meet again on a YouTube and we'll try a Zoom jam a bit. We'll see what this sounds like. What do you think it's gonna? You think you'll hear both of us at the same time?
I don't think we will. But
They mute each other, don't they?
who knows?
But that's a hell of a background you got there with the bridge in Bali. Great seeing you, man.
Yeah,
Take
much
care of
love,
yourself. Stay
Love,
safe.
Joel. Peace, yo.
Now let's see if this will play my remix. that's enough of that. But we'll be having a lot of fun with this, all these goodies when I get on my YouTube channel. I did a test with it, but obviously Zoom doesn't like it. But we'll do a little postmortem and figure what happened. Joel, come and say hi. You didn't even say a word there while Patrick was on.
Hey,
So how did it go with you doing that remix? You had a whole different take on it. It was pretty dark and minimal.
well, I was going to say before we get into that, that you should tell people a bit about the remix competition and where they can go.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Where these this Ableton set is in a G drive. And if anybody wants to know the G drive, just send me an email, brianblain@gmail.com. I'll send you the link, or I'll put it in the comments below this if you're just watching on the Facebook or wherever. But we'll find a way that, and yeah, if you're somebody that can open an Ableton 9 file and mash it up, you saw what we did with it, 3 very different approaches. And I'm sure everybody would have a very different take on it. It would be beautiful to do that in real time online. That's kind of my sort of lifetime project and winding down. Joel, thanks again. And remind people about the, where did we, is that readable? Or is it even, it's not legible. It's not showing up on the, I'd have to do it like this. Or we got, I'm so far behind. Oh, you've got to donate there. All right, everybody saw the pitch. And there's only, well, not too many folks watching. A couple more just came on. Susan, hi. Kimberly, oh man. Well, and Willie, thank you for watching. All of you folks, and I'm glad you stuck around for the end because that was the surprise part. And we'll see you next Sunday at 2 p.m. And like I said, I might be popping up with some instrumental electronica during the week. Bye for now. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Patrick. Take care.